Here's Iran's hardline newspaper praises Salman Rushdie's attacker. This is a Reuters story. The hardline Kahan newspaper, whose editor-in-chief is appointed by Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, wrote 1,000 bravos to the brave and dutiful person who attacked the apostate and evil Salman Rushdie in New York, adding, "The hand of the man who tore the neck of God's enemy must be kissed." The Asser Iran news site on Saturday carried an often cited quote by Khamenei that said the arrow shot by Khomeini will one day hit the target. The headline of the hardline Vatan Emruz newspaper read, "A knife in Salman Rushdie's neck." The Khorasan Daily carried the headline, "Satan on the way to hell." So here's the thing with these stories, okay, that you have to be keeping in mind. Bill Maher said something a couple days ago because, Salman Rushdie is one of his friends, a good friend of his. Mm-hmm. And, he's probably going to lose his eye, by the way, okay? And
really?
Yeah, he's probably going to lose his eye. And do you know what he was talking on at this event? He was talking about on the freedoms to be able to talk about whatever you can write about and talk about. That's what this whole tour was about. So he's going out there talking about that, and this guy comes in, stabs him 3 times in the neck, 4 in the stomach, in the eye, gonna lose his eye, in bad conditions. He's making it. Whether you like Salman Rushdie or not, or agree with what he wrote or not, Bill is trying to say, name me any other religion that their extremists are doing things like this. And he says, as much as America wants to avoid this topic, it is a discussion that we must have. So now, couple things. Do you remember years ago when Trump, under his regime, they killed Qasem Soleimani? Do you remember when that happened?
Yeah, the Iranian general.
Yeah, and we talked about the revenge and how long it's going to take.
The airport missile.
That's right. So what did they say? Oh, revenge is coming. It's going to come on whose terms? On their terms. It's not going to. These guys in Iran, they don't forget. Mm-hmm. This is not something they sit on and they move on. To them, it's just a matter of time before they get there. Especially right now, I don't know how many stories you're reading about the fact that Iran wants to go after Trump. Did you see these stories about...
they just tried to kill John Bolton, too, did they?
They just tried to kill John Bolton. Trump's another one that they have on their list. But look, this is real. This isn't like, these types of stories when you're reading them and you're hearing the support from the back to say, kissing the hand of the person who... The hand of the man who tore the necks of God's enemy must be kissed, being written by this paper that is the editor-in-chief is appointed by Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei. You have to understand these types of things don't happen in America. These types of things happen. It's stories like this that gets you to realize freedom of speech in America. This is not happening from an American to an American. This kid that did this, the 24-year-old that was connected to Iran, you know where he lives. This kid he was born in California. It's not like he was born in Iran.
Yeah.
This kid's a U.S. citizen. Natural born. He was born here. And they get to him, and he goes up there and does what he does. And right now, we're going to see what's going to happen with it. But I hope more of this doesn't become a normalized thing. I hope we don't get too many of these stories happening. It's unfortunate that they did it to him. I remember when the fatwa happened, they were burning his book all over the place. And quite frankly, the book is actually not that great of a book. The fact that they gave him a fatwa took his book to, levels of selling God knows how many copies because Khomeini gave him that fatwa. There's literally celebrations where, have you seen these videos? They're around fire and they're throwing the book in fire.
They bought his book to burn it.
They bought his book to burn it.
Amazon has a 10-pack for those of you who are going to the Inferno this afternoon.
Well, ironically, what's making me think of is just free market capitalism is because look at prohibition. There's no more liquor in America. That's it. Well, what happened? People were making moonshine in their bathtubs. So this is one of those things where it's like, no, don't look over here. No Salman Rushdie. It's like that's just going to empower more people to be like, hold on, why can't I go? What do you mean? Hold on, and it essentially enabled his book to become a national bestseller, international bestseller. But when you try to outlaw things, black markets emerge. And not that he needed a black market to sell his books, but if you try to stomp out something, it's going to reemerge as something else. And that's the problem that Iran is.
Did you hear about what happened with J.K. Rowling? When J.K. Rowling goes up there and she says, I hope he's okay. She says this on Twitter. horrifying news, feeling very sick right now. Let him be okay. And somebody responded on Twitter, a guy named Mir Asif Aziz, replied, don't worry, you are next. Okay? Aziz is reportedly an Iran-backed Islamist extremist praising Rushdie's attacker. And by the way, I'm curious, did this person get banned on Twitter or are they still active on Twitter, Tyler? Do you know this?
Of course they're still active. I'm trying to find the article now.
Yeah, that's
Find that out though. Tyler.
The kid deleted his account.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.